Hello, welcome to Comeback Yoga. This is gentle yoga and meditation. We'll be practicing together for 45 minutes or so. If you have animals in your life, they might be excited when you get down on the floor with them. So you can always take a little break and give them some pets or some attention. They like that, and it's usually thought pretty good for your stress levels. So feel free to take a little break whenever you want to. We'll start with folded up legs and a tall spine. You might put some hands, one of your hands or both your hands behind you, or you can hold on to the fronts of your legs. Move your head around a little bit. Sometimes people call this a body scan. Just pay attention to the different parts of your body, starting at the top and ending down at the bottom. And you can name the parts of your body as you go through them. Just pay attention to the top, any parts that occur to you, and keep on going down. Maybe move from your head down to your trunk. Excuse me. Um, Move into your each part of your body as you're moving down. Again, you're paying attention to it, perhaps naming it. And eventually, you get all the way down to the bottom. And then turn your awareness to your breathing. Notice where your breath comes into your body. You might be breathing through your nose, or you might be breathing through your mouth. You don't have to do anything in particular except breathe. So you're just breathing exactly as you do breathe. You don't have to fix it or change it or anything like that. Just notice how you are breathing. Then, from noticing that you're breathing, notice the different parts of your body that move when you breathe. You might observe your belly, or you might observe your back, or you might observe your rib cage. Notice how that's working. And I'll give you the option. You can put one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach, or you can put both hands over your heart, or you could wrap your arms across your chest. Try not to give too many options when I give options, so just choose one. Add another dimension to your awareness. Add one of your senses, your sense of touch. And bring your arms down Into your lap, you can change the way that you're sitting with your palms facing up. And roll through your shoulders. Move through your head and your neck. Mhm. You can let go of that deeper focus on your breath, and we'll start to move one leg out to the side. You can lift up your sit bone a little and lean, and plant your sit bone down, square, and tilt a little, and lift up, lean away a little bit, lean. Your sit bone will come up a little, and plant your sit bone down, square, and lean. We'll do that one more. Turn, lean away. This top sit bone comes up off the floor. Then plant it back down, turn, and lean. Lift up, bring your extended leg in. You can put it on the floor, put your foot on the floor with your knee up, and hug your arms around your knee that's pointing up, and then we're switching legs. First, you just stick your leg out and stretch it out, and you're leaning away. It's a variation of a pose called Wild Thing that we might work up towards in a little bit. We're just doing the same exact thing here, using some complementary movements that go together. We'll do one more. Your leg that's extended, put your foot on the floor. You can hug one arm or both arms around your leg. Give yourself a tall spine. Bring yourself back into hold it up legs, cross legs. Move through your shoulders. Turn your head side to side. Let's fingertips on the floor and around your back. And lift up fingertips behind you and lift your ribcage. And one more. This is a seated cat and cow pose. And stick one leg out. Bring your forearm down to the floor, and you can lift your tilt a little bit. Your pelvis will move a bit off the floor. Take your top arm in the air. Bring yourself up and switch sides. Forearm down onto the floor. And you're tilting a little bit. Top arm into the air. Fold up your legs again. And we'll move torsos around in a circle. If you want a little more work, you can cross your arms in front of your chest and not use your arms to support you. That's going to give you more core work. Try to keep both sit bones firmly on the floor. We're experimenting a little bit with having one side up and one side down. And then plant them both down. We'll come into the kneeling position now. Stick one leg out to the side. You can come onto your heel with your toes up. And we'll do that a couple times. Move your foot down to the floor, bottom of your foot down to the floor, and I'll stretch out your ankle. And roll up onto your heel with your toes up. You're moving through your thigh bone here. You might feel your pelvis tilt one way and tilt the other way. Lean over and see if your fingertips comfortably touch the floor. If they don't, you could put your hand on the furniture, or if you could scoot a little bit closer to your wall, you could do that too. This is it's just an approaching kind of an idea here. And once your fingertips are as far as they want to go, then you're extending your top arm in the air as well. And we'll lift up, switch sides, switch legs, bring both legs in. Oh, for fun, let's do a camel pose. Camel is kneeling back bend. You can put your hands on your upper glutes, lift your rib cage, and lean a little bit. Try to keep your hips in line with your knees and stretch front side of your body. You can squeeze your glutes a little. Your hands are back there to support your low back. Soften that up a little bit, and we'll switch sides. One leg out. You're on your heel, and you're rolling down onto your foot. You're moving through, think about moving through your thigh bone, your hip socket, inside your pelvis there, where your thigh bone meets your pelvis bone. You can either keep your foot down or have your foot up, doesn't matter for this next part. You tilt a little. And this is core strength here. Again, here. Maybe fingertips touch the floor. They don't have to, but they might. Your whole palm could come onto the floor. You could take some weight on to your hand if you wanted. Keep your spine long, head in line with the rest of your spine. Breathe in, breathe out. Nice work. Well, lift up again, bring your leg in. Let's find the camel pose once again. Camel is just a simple, you lift and lean. You can squeeze a little. Hips in line with your knees. And bring yourself back into regular spine. Let's walk forward and bring one leg out to the side. Once one leg is out to the side, you can lean towards and away from your extended leg. Getting into your inner thigh a little bit. Then this is just a tiny bit tricky. Take your leg that's extended and bring it back behind you. Tuck your toes under and press out through your heel. Different kind of stretch on your hips. You might notice that your foundation hip wants to lean way out. Try to keep it right over your knee. And bring yourself back into squared off. Move through cat and cow. And we'll switch sides. Leg out to the side. And you can lean side to side a little. And you're taking your leg that's straight out to its own side and bring it around behind. Tuck your toes under, press back through your heel. Try to keep your hips square. And you might notice some intensity going on in your stretch, and you can lean into that, or you can make it less intense by bringing your leg less behind you. You can always adjust a stretch to suit yourself. You don't have to go anywhere in particular. There's no perfect angle for anything. There's always a different place to go in every pose. It's what makes yoga always challenging and always accessible. You can bring yourself back into squared off table pose. Move through cat and cow. And we'll bring ourselves into low lunge. So I have a hand on a wall here. Let's just give me a little extra support. You can have a hand on the wall. Or maybe you're in the middle of your space. Either way, choose a good spot for you. And we'll turn a little bit towards the long edge of the mat and look behind you. And square forward. You can tilt back, come onto your front heel, lift your toes. It's the half splits. Bend into your front knee. If your hands come down towards the floor, you can keep your hands on the floor. And if they don't, you can keep your front elbow on your front leg. If your hands come down to the floor, you might try leaning a little bit more into your stretch, but only if your hands come down to the floor. Always a different place to go in every pose. This is the lizard pose. You can bring yourself back into table. I'll give you another option here. If you'd like to come into a downward facing dog pose, you can do that now. Downward facing dog is a simple pose. It's just stretching out your spine. The table is basically downward facing dog. You can tilt your downward facing dog by stretching your hands forward and letting your head come a little closer down towards the floor. And you can also do downward facing dog by lifting your knees and having your feet and your hands on the floor and let your heels press down in the direction of the floor. Let's come into the low lunge on the other side. Step your other foot forward. And you can turn and look back. And we'll square forward, rock back into the half splits, just on your heel with your toes up. And we're coming forward into the lizard pose. You might do that with your front elbow on your front leg, or you might see if one or both hands come down to the floor, they might If they do, you can lean into your hands a little bit. Let your back leg stretch a little. And I'll give you the option to be in table or to be in kneeling downward facing dog or to be in hands and feet downward facing dog. Let's choose one. Whatever variation you chose, take one leg off the floor. And you can stretch your leg back, you can bend your knee, you can open up, stretch your leg back in different angles, and put that foot on the floor. And then do the same thing with your other leg. Both legs down. Bring yourself one more time to kneeling. Once you're kneeling, you can stick one leg out to the side. Take one hand all the way down to the floor. Again, if you don't want to come all the way down to the floor, you could use a piece of furniture and try taking your extended leg into the air. Put your foot down, lift up and tilt toward your extended leg. And switch sides. Stick your leg out. Put one hand down and try taking your extended leg off the floor. It doesn't have to be any particular height, especially if you feel like your hips want a little bit less work. And lift and lean. And both knees down. Let's come back towards the back of the mat. Tuck your toes under. Sit your hips down. Stretching out the bottoms of your feet. And move into squat position however you want to. I like to roll back into squat position. Maybe that doesn't work for you. You could come up to standing and then sit into any height of squat. And put your hands on the floor or on the fronts of your legs. Straighten yourself into a forward fold and walk your hands up your legs all the way up into standing up. Look down towards the space of your mat and see the space you have to work with. Step your right foot forward, your left foot back. Just be a left heel kind of towards the back corner of your mat. And your right foot scooches forward towards the outer edge of your mat. These are just approximations. You don't have to be exact. And if it doesn't feel appropriate for your stance or your body, then just step a little wider or a little closer together. Keep your knees a little bit bent. Take right arm forward, left hand to your left hip, turn a little. And then both hands to your right hip, turn a little. Square forward. We'll open a little bit and tilt into triangle pose. This is a super chill triangle with arms down. Inhaling to lift up, re-square your back foot. Take your back foot all the way forward. You might readjust a little bit. So your front foot is on that front corner of your mat, back heel, back foot kind of steps out. And we're taking your left legs forward, your left arms forward, right hand to your right hip. You can turn. And both hands to your left hip, turn. You're opening to the side a little bit and tilting into a triangle pose. This is a soft, super chill triangle with your arms soft and down. We'll inhale, rise up, step together at the top of your mat, roll through your shoulders, bring your hands together, and this is sometimes people call this namaste or just palms together. Your wrists are long rather than, they could be bent like that, but we're going to keep our wrists long. Soften that and look forward. This is called same on all four sides pose. Keep your knees a little bent, look forward, breathe. And from the top of your mat, we'll step right foot back, coming into a warrior two pose. Your front knees bent, your back legs long. Take your arms wide, you can look forward. Flip your palms forward, straighten your front leg, tilt your hips back, and come into a more traditional triangle pose. But stay a little bit high, keep especially your left side of your body nice and long. We'll bend in your front knee. We'll lift all the way up. Gather your back leg, step forward into a tree pose with your hands together like we had them last time. Can you balance into the tree pose? Sure you can. Even if you take a couple extra steps, no worries there. Stepping together, let's step your left foot back this time. Left foot back into warrior two. Front knees bent, back legs long. Arms extend. Breathe. Look forward. Flip your thumbs up. Straighten your front leg. Tilt your torso. And here's our triangle pose. Just a little bit more traditional triangle with arms extended. Hey, if you liked that super chill triangle, you can do that again with your arms down. Nice work. Inhale to lift up. Guess what we get to do on the other side? Rotate on the ball of your back foot. Just taking one big step forward. Take as many steps as you want. One big step forward and glide into a tree pose. Balance. Lengthen. Hands together. Breathe. Step together at the top of your mat. Let's come into a quarter forward fold. It's a really soft forward fold. Your hands are on the fronts of your legs. Keep your knees bent, long spine. Glide into towards a half forward fold. Might not be quite there. And if you're in a half forward fold, see if you've got any more space in your forward fold to go a little more than forward halfway. We'll all come down into a plank. Put your hands on the floor. Find your plank position. Your plank might look like one-legged plank. Your plank might be hands and feet. Your plank might be arms and knees. There's so many ways to do plank. Just choose one and hang out there for a little bit. Breathe in your plank position. Let yourself lower all the way down. And returning onto your sides. Stretch your legs out and let your top leg float away from your bottom leg a little bit. Try to keep your head, your rib cage, and your pelvis, your legs all in one line. It gives you lots of core strength work here. Float your top arm into the air. Your arm and your leg come down. Bend your bottom knee forward a little. That's going to give you a little kickstand. And take your top leg in. What if you reach down and hold onto your foot or your pants leg? Pants leg would work, or the back of your knee will also work. And try kicking your leg straight-ish up towards the ceiling. Everything comes down. You can just switch sides. You can roll around. You can lift up through seated and go on the other side. First thing is long lines. Top leg floats away from your bottom leg a little bit. And your top arm can reach up towards the ceiling. And try to keep your head, rib cage, hips, and legs all in one line. And you're bending your bottom knee forward a little bit. Taking your top leg in towards your chest. Then you can hold on to your pants leg or to your foot or to your back of your knee and try stretching your leg up towards the ceiling. When you're ready, bring yourself back to cross-legged, back to the beginning. We'll reverse that body scan that we did. Start at the bottom and end up at the top. Notice different parts of your body, and you can say their names. I mean, just to yourself. You don't have to say it out loud. Maybe there are parts of your body that are giving you some feedback, that you're feeling extra sensation in. If there are those parts of your body, just notice those. And maybe notice some parts of your body that are not giving you extra sensation, just so you're aware of all the different parts of your body. Don't forget things like, your elbows and your nose. Once you get all the way back up to the top, roll your shoulders, up, back, and down. Move your head around. Towards the beginning of class, we talked about this pose wild thing. Now we can try it. Stick one leg out to the side. You can tilt. This isn't it yet. It's the complement. You can come up onto your shin, lean over. Here's the first part. You just pick up, lean up and over. This is it, essentially. If you want to come up onto your shin, just rock forward, lift your hips, and come up and over. Put your hips down, and subside. Tilt towards your leg, then lean over. You can come up onto your shin and lift up and lean over. Hips come down. Legs cross-legged once again. Roll through your shoulders, move through your head. You can stay sitting up like this with a tall spine, or you can lie down for this last part. Whatever you want to do is fine. Sometimes I don't want to lie down. If I'm coughing, laying down on my back helps. It makes my cough worse. So that's really common in winter if you want to, or anytime really. But if you want to sit up, you can sit up. If you want to lay down, you can lay down. Put one hand on your rib cage and one hand on your stomach. It can be anywhere in your rib cage. It can be lower ribs or over your heart. Notice things through your senses. We've done what they call it's called a body scan. We've done that a couple times, and we've paid deep attention to our breath, inhales and exhales. Now, invite a deeper awareness of your breath, and we'll match some words with the inhale and exhale part of your breath. There's a really old mantra called Hamsa, and if you know it, you can do that. You inhale hum and exhale sa. And that's a different language. It can be translated a couple different ways. One of the things that I do is inhale I am and exhale here. Inhale and say to yourself, obviously, I am. And exhale and say to yourself, here. You might notice a lot of thoughts crowding in now that we're more still. It's okay. It's all right if you drift away from your I am here words. Just when that happens, just gently remind yourself that you're doing a practice and come back to inhaling I am and exhaling here. You continue on with that practice for as long as you want. If you feel ready, if you're sitting up, you can just start to move around a little bit. If you're laying on your back, you can move your legs around, arms around, and roll over onto one side. And then carefully give yourself a smooth transition back to sitting up. Once you're upright with a tall spine, you can rub your hands together, and tuck your elbows in at your sides, long wrists. Reflect on the effects of your practice. Take one more, a really simple scan. It's move from your center out into all directions. Just feel whatever you think of as your center. Just expand out. Awareness to all the edges and corners, the outline, the full expression, the full physical aspect of your body. Soft inhale breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Thanks, y'all. Thanks so much for being here and practicing with me and with Comeback Yoga. You can go to our website, comebackyoga.org, find out more about us, and contact our amazing staff. They're really wonderful, happy to help you with anything that you might need, connect you with classes. I hope you come back and practice with me again. Look forward to that, and I'll see you until next time.